Okay, fantastic. A very, very warm welcome to each and every single one of you. My name is Pawan Badlani. Thank you so much for being here. Today, we are going to deep dive into the Advanced Graphology Workshop, where we are going to decode the human mind through handwriting. All right. So let me just share a small introduction about myself for people who know me and people who may not know me as well. I have been a celebrity handwriting and signature analyst, an international NLP practitioner, motivational speaker, author, and a world record holder in terms of writing books. I have been an astrology practitioner as well, and I have got the training and been practicing since 2024 now. I've had about 16 years of experience in graphology. I have pursued my Master of Marketing program from RMIT University, Melbourne, Australia, worked with 10,000 clients all over the world. Some of my clients include MNCs, media houses, and public personalities. I've had the opportunity to host a graphology show as well by the name of Hastakshar, which aired on Astrovani, Airtel DTH, and Tata Sky. And I've had the opportunity to conduct workshops across India, UAE, USA, Nigeria, and Nepal. Okay, so what will we learn here today? Let's dive right into this. We will be understanding about personality traits, confidence, and fear through your handwriting. That's the first thing. Secondly, we'll be understanding about how do you identify trauma, emotional blocks, and healing markers as well through handwriting and signature analysis. Next up, we would be understanding about decoding relationships and compatibility patterns. We would also talk about understanding career and money mindset indicators through your handwriting and signature. Last but not the least, we would also talk about how do you spot stress, deception, and masked personalities simply by looking at a person's handwriting. So far, so good, everyone. If yes, just put down yes in the chat box. If it's so far, so good. Okay. Now, why does your handwriting matter more than anything else? It's because you can hide words, but you cannot hide movement. From what I understand so far, your handwriting is your brain writing. Whatever is going on in your mind today, you can see it in the handwriting. If you're feeling unwell, if you are not in the right headspace today, everything can be seen in your handwriting. Your writing would not be very, very clear by nature. Secondly, there would not be a lot of legibility as well. Certain letters would be closed. There would not be a lot of clarity in that aspect as well. Similarly, when it comes to your signature as well, if you are creating an illegible signature, you would become somebody who would be somebody who is a little hard to understand as well. You would not open up very, very easily as well. More importantly, you would be somebody who would like to listen to more people than speak a lot about yourself or your family or your career or your profession as such. Basically, every single stroke carries some emotional and psychological data. Your writing reveals what your speech and behavior often hide. Okay. Here, as you can see as an example, this particular line, the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. This includes all the alphabets of the English language. Okay. So you can see that the way the handwriting has been created, all right, you can see this trait of being very fanciful by nature, the way Q alphabet is written, the way T alphabet has been written, and the crossbar right over here in the middle, this person is a people's person. The I dot, which is exactly on the I alphabet, it shows that this person is a little detail oriented by nature. Okay. Next up, you can see that there is a lot of high pressure handwriting as well. And you have this particular loop which is going forward of the F alphabet in the lower zone, which shows that they are highly energetic as well.
So you're
Okay.
sharing the screen as we are not able to see. We are seeing only one screen.
This is I've shared the screen. Just give me one
Your
moment.
introduction screen we are able to see.
Can you see now?
No.
1 second. Let me just stop the share for a second. Let me just share it once again. Okay. Just one second. Can you see it now?
Now it is visible.
Now it is
It,
visible. Okay.
for the
Okay.
first, acha.
Do you want me to start over
We can start from what we learned in second,
from this part?
what we learned here today. Yeah.
What we learn here today? Okay.
So that you
I'll
have
start.
already explained. Second,
That
yeah.
I've already explained. That I've
Hmm.
already explained.
इसके बाद.
And iske baad. Okay. Got it. No worries. Sorry about that.
Hmm.
So this particular part, which is that why does your handwriting matter more than anything else? So let's talk about this. Basically, whatever is going on in your mind today, you cannot hide it. Okay. And more importantly, if let's say you're feeling unwell, let's say you're not in the right headspace, it can all be seen through your handwriting. If your handwriting is not very clear, certain alphabets are not very clear information, you can come to know what is going on in the person's mind. So you can hide words, but you cannot hide movement. Handwriting is essentially brain writing. Every single stroke that you see here today, it carries emotional data and psychological data, and our writing reveals what speech and behavior often hide. All right. Now, in this particular section, if you can see right over here, okay, the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. All right. Now, this particular line contains all the alphabets of the English language. So let's do a quick analysis of this. If you can see the T alphabet right over here, you have the crossbar which is in the middle. All right. It has stroke in the beginning. It shows this person is a people's person. All right. They love connecting with people. Next up, if you see the Q alphabet, the stroke that you have of Q alphabet in the lower zone, it shows that this person is fanciful. They would like to spend much more and a little thrifty by nature. They believe in indulging in fancy things. You see the I alphabet over here, you see the dot on top. All right, it's right on top. It shows that they're highly detail oriented by nature. All right. Next up, if you see the F alphabet over here, you see the lower zone loop, which is very, very clear, and then it is going forward. With high pressure handwriting, it shows that they are highly energetic as well. All right. You see the J alphabet over here. You see the loop in J alphabet, it shows that this person would love to collect a lot of material things as well. They would be a little materialistic by nature as well. They would possibly judge you on that basis. All right. Then next up, when we talk about this particular section in over, all right, the way this has been written, all right, the baseline is not very, very clear. It shows that they're a little unpredictable by nature as well. Next up, if you see the THE alphabet combination over here, the way this has been clearly written, all right. This shows that they are socially adaptable by nature as well. It's a connected handwriting too, right? Then next up, you see the A alphabet right over here. All right. The way it has been clearly written and it has a small open loop in A alphabet, it shows that they love to talk, they love to communicate their thoughts and ideas. Last but not the least, you see D alphabet right over here. It has a clear loop in the D alphabet. It shows that they are open-minded. They would love to listen to more ideas as well, and they're open to communicating and sharing their ideas with other people. So far, so good, everyone? Yes? If it's yes, just put up yes in the chat box, please. If it's so far, so good, yes? All right, fantastic. Now, next up, let's talk about what is graphology. Okay. Graphology is basically the study of graphic movement. All right. Graphology is basically understanding a person's complete personality, their mindset, their nature, their likes, their feelings, what's going on in their personal life, what's going on in their professional life, every single thing you can see through graphology. It is not about prediction, not intuition, but it is a behavioral analysis tool. It is used in psychology, recruitment, and investigations, and it helps to understand everything. It tells you about one's personality, likes, dislikes, feelings, ambitions, and mindset simply by the way we write and sign. Simply put, graphology is a life-changing science. If you bring about certain positive changes in your handwriting and your signature, you will see a great improvement in your personality as well within 21 to 90 days. So far, so good, everyone? Yes? All right, moving on. Let's talk a little bit more in detail, some advanced concepts about handwriting and signature analysis, about graphology. There is something called as the brain print concept. Basically, your handwriting equals to your brain print. Whatever is going on over here is right on paper. Writing comes from the brain, not from the hand. Okay. Even if written with mouth or toes, some traits remain. Your identity stays constant, your moods change. All right. So, irrespective, no matter what is going on in your mind, you cannot lie on paper, no matter how hard you try. And there are some fixed traits and there are some temporary traits. Fixed writing traits would be your intelligence style, your core temperament, your the essence of your nature. All right. But when it comes to temporary writing traits, stress, fear, emotional states, which you know that if it keeps on changing, your handwriting will see a change. But your intelligence, your core temperament, and your basic nature is a little unlikely to change because because as I said, even if you're writing with your mouth or your toes, right, some traits will remain. All right, moving on. Conscious versus unconscious handwriting. There are two layers in this. Number one, conscious handwriting traits. Firstly, your signature style. Secondly, your decorative strokes or decorative strokes. What we want to show. All these are very, very conscious. The way you want to create your signature, the way you want to create an impression in front of other people is very, very clear in your signature. Basically, what tends to happen is that when we are growing up, we tend to watch our parents. We tend to see what is the environment that we are growing up in. More importantly, by the time we reach, I think the ninth standard or 10th standard, when we are in school and we get the opportunity to use a pen and we want to create a signature, we knowingly or unknowingly tend to emulate our mother's signature or our father's signature, thinking that, okay, it looks very stylish, it looks very cool. But what most people do not realize that in the idea of emulating that style or copying that particular style of your father's signature or your mother's signature, you are consciously or unconsciously copying their traits also. So let's say, for example, if your mother or your father have had a lot of struggles in their life, be it from a mindset point of view, from financial point of view, physical point of view, psychological point of view, or whatever struggles that they have been going through, all of that can be seen in one's handwriting and signature. So the signature you pick up, it would show up right there. Most people even put up blankets on their signature. They cover the entire signature completely, thinking that, okay, nobody will be able to copy it. But what they do not realize is that they tend to become more introverted by nature, less social by nature as well, become more protective, become more defensive by nature in that process as well. And if somebody was to get into their personal space, right, or cross a certain personal boundary, they would get very aggressive as well, depending on the way they create their signature. But this is one of these traits. Even when you say that, let's say I'm creating a decorative stroke, right? Let's say I'm putting a heart, I'm putting a smiley, all right, or I'm putting a star. So consciously or unconsciously, we want to associate with those traits as well. All right. That is why we put it up. Next up, let's say, what we want to project by nature. So let's say that I want to project this particular aspect or nature about myself, that I am a huge personality and people come to me for solutions, then I want to be in a leadership position, right? What would end up happening is your signature would become larger by nature. Okay, so you would have a little bit of a little bit of trouble in terms of asking for help as well. More importantly, you would say that, okay, people are coming to me for solutions. Why should I even ask anything else? So that shows some form of arrogance, some form of ego as well that comes up in your handwriting or in your signature, even large size handwriting for that matter of fact. So that becomes a trait, that becomes a quality, that becomes a certain side of personality that we wish to show. Another thing is that if somebody is a little introverted by nature, if this particular person would like to have a very low profile and they feel that, I don't want to open up too much. I like to work behind the scenes. I'm like Batman. And more importantly, I don't work with a larger group of people as well. What's going to happen is that your handwriting will become smaller. Your signature would become smaller. You would become more detail oriented. Your focus, your concentration would 100% increase. But then you would think twice before interacting with anyone or showing up as well. Okay, so these are like conscious handwriting traits as to what's going on in your mind. It will show up in your personality. Now, talking about the unconscious handwriting traits, when we talk about spacing, when we talk about pressure, when we talk about slant, when we talk about the stroke direction as well. Very simply put, let's say that if there is somebody who cannot live without other people, or who always seeks company, or who always wants company of other people around them, right? The spacing between two words and letters as well would, slowly start shrinking as well. They would feel scared, they would feel fearful if somebody was to leave them, even for a few minutes or for a few hours as well. All right. But if you want to see somebody who is more independent by nature, somebody who is more clear in their head, somebody who's a sharp decision maker as well, you would see the spacing would start increasing as well between the letters also and between the words as well, between two words as well, space would start increasing. They would be like, okay, I am my own boss. I don't need to ask anyone. I don't need to ask about anything at all. I make my own decisions. I rule my own time. Okay, so that is one spacing. That is unconscious handwriting traits. Okay, when we talk about pressure, now pressure is something which tends to change with time as well. So let's say if somebody is extremely energetic by nature, okay, what would end up happening is that you would see a lot of high pressure handwriting. Basically, when you turn the paper around, you would be able to see that the pressure is very, very clear. You'd be able to read what's written on the other side as well. That's high pressure handwriting, hardcore romantics, extremely hardworking, and they don't take a lot of breaks while working as well. They would be a little stubborn by nature as well. And they would find it a little difficult to adapt to new technology. They would take their own time because they have their own fixed traits that this is what I want to do, this is how I want to be, this is how I want to behave. All right. So that would be pressure. Let me see. But let's say if somebody is more flexible by nature, if somebody is more adaptable by nature, all right. Just one moment, please. Yeah, if somebody is more adaptable by nature, they would have a medium handwriting pressure, and more importantly, they would have a light handwriting pressure as well. That, okay, I'm cool with anything, even if I have to wait for like half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours. No problem. I can wait right here. That's absolutely all right. Oh, the plans changed. There's a change in your schedule. Last moment changes in commitments. No worries. I got that. Right? That kind of attitude, that kind of thought process, that they are cool with everything. But at the same time, they are equally sensitive as well. Not as sensitive as the high pressure writer. High pressure writers are like super sensitive. Just tell them one wrong thing and they would feel bad for the rest of their life. But with light pressure, they are also a little sensitive by nature, but at the same time, they would adjust very well. Okay. So those are unconscious handwriting traits. Again, what's going on in your mind? What's going on in your personality? You would come to know about that. Talking about slant. All right. So there is right slant, there is left slant, there is slant which is absolutely straight as well. Okay, right, straight, and left slant. So if somebody starts writing with a left slant, you know that they are a little antisocial by nature, that they prefer working with themselves rather than anybody else. That I'm a one man army or a one woman army, right? That's what they love, that's what they enjoy. Not too many friends and difficult to socialize with. They wouldn't even feel like sharing a lot. So that is one trait, one quality. Secondly, let's talk about a straight slant. Okay, that's absolutely vertical. This is the kind of person who will give you point to point answers. All right. And a little dry in their communication as well, but at the same time, perfectionist and disciplined by nature. All right. And let's say if you are to ask them, how are they doing? They would be like, good. You? So you see, I just used two words, right? Whereas if somebody has a right slant, they are super expressive, emotional, sensitive, love surprises, um, always would make on the spot plans as well. And they feel a lot. Like if, let's say, it is somebody's birthday, anniversary, any special occasion, these are the kind of people who would plan a lot of surprises as well, would ensure how other people feel, would want to make them comfortable, would want that they should be happy. All right, those are like the right stance. Very talkative, very expressive as well. Somebody who would go on for hours together, quite honestly. Okay, so that is on the right slant, right? Stroke direction. All right, stroke direction. On which side are they going? Now we are not talking about slant, not talking about left slant, not talking about vertical, not talking about right slant. We're talking about the stroke direction. Which way do they want to write it in? In the sense, let's talk about. Give me one moment, please. Hold on. Hmm. Right. Let's say that when it comes to the signature of a particular individual, all right, when we talk about signature, now we talk about the arcades, we talk about any kind of hooks, we talk about any kind of blanket formations that they have. If it's, let's say, going upwards or covering the entire signature as well, this is the kind of person who is very, very protective by nature. All right. And again, as I was saying, that, very defensive by nature as well. At the same point of time, if, let's say, the handwriting or the signature is going downwards, all right, handwriting or signature is going downwards, these are the kind of people who would tend to feel lonely very easily. These are the kind of people who would feel a little more sad, or, you know, their self-esteem is not very, very strong. Even one bad news can bring down their entire day. So a lot of fluctuating moods as well. And it tends to affect their mental health also. Another aspect would be that, let's say, if the signature, or let's say the handwriting, to be very specific, if it's going a little upwards, they are quite upbeat, very, very optimistic by nature as well. Okay, these are the people who are always thinking about solutions. What's next? What is the best that I can do? So, these are certain traits. And again, if the baseline, okay, that the handwriting or the signature is being written is absolutely straight, these are the people who are extremely particular, extremely systematic, very, very organized by nature as well. So far, so good. Yes. So that is like about conscious and unconscious handwriting traits that you can see in which direction are they going in. So far, so good, everyone. Just type yes in the chat box if it's so far, so good for you. I know it's quite a lot of content. We have a lot more to cover as well. All right. Fantastic. I hope I am going at a good pace at this point and you're able to catch up as well. Is the pace all right, everyone? Yes? Okay. Fantastic. Fantastic. All right. Next up, let's talk about the three zone theory. Now, what do these three zones signify? Let's talk about the upper zone, middle zone, and lower zone. Basics of graphology. All right. When you talk about the upper zone is your thinking, your imagination, your vision, your philosophy, your thought process. What are the kind of ideas that are going on in your mind? Okay, that's the upper zone of any particular alphabet. As you can see right over here, this is the upper zone. Then we talk about the middle zone. Middle zone is your daily behavior, your self image. It's about how you function in your day to day life as well. That is your middle zone. Talking about the lower zone is all about your drive, your desires, your instincts, your finances, your energy levels as well. That's the lower zone. Let's look at this you know, a little bit more in detail as well. Okay, let me show this to you guys. So we talk about the handwriting. Okay, the three zones of handwriting. There is upper zone, there is middle zone, there is lower zone. So in terms of psychology, everybody would have heard of id, ego, and the super ego. These are the three core personality traits of any individual. So when we talk about the upper zone, super ego, we talk about imagination, philosophy, idealism, religion, aspirations as well. Middle zone talks about our ego, our common sense, logic, pragmatism, all right, reality, what's going on in this particular present moment. And the lower zone is instinct, sexuality, animal appetite, physical force, and our basic biological needs. All right, look over here. Have a look at this. Now, what this says is that the proportions of the three zones determine the balance between three basic areas of ego development. Upper zone, as we spoke about, fantasy, spirit, intellect. Middle zone, social, self, daily life. Lower zone, instinctual, self. All right. Unconscious drives for security, sex, and material things. You can see this particular example, the way crafty is written. All right. This is the upper zone. This is the middle zone, and this is the lower zone of the handwriting. All right. Once again, this particular thing that you see over here, this is the entire baseline where flag is written. So again, upper zone, middle zone, lower zone. All right. What are the particular character traits? Let's look at this a little bit more in detail. So upper zone, as we spoke about, sphere of imagination, mind, spirit, intellect, and creativity. The way we think, the way we imagine what our ideas are supposed to be, our creative thought process. All right. Middle zone, sphere of actuality. What is our social life? What is our everyday concern? What am I going to eat? What am I going to wear? Where am I going to go? Who am I going to meet? All right. That all is the middle zone. Lower zone again, talking about sphere of unconscious, instinctual urges, material demands, biological needs. And again, one last time covering this part, we also talk about the future, upper body, mental perceptions, concepts, conscious, spiritual, intellectual, and cultural aspiration and fantasy. That is the upper zone. Middle zone talks about your present, your middle body, action, emotional expression, realistic, practical, and social expression of the ego. And what am I getting in the immediate present? All right, that talks about the middle zone. Last but not the least, lower zone, past, lower body, sensual perception, basic drive, unconscious drive, biological needs, and our memory. What are the different letters? So as you can see, the upper zone letters are B alphabet, D alphabet, F alphabet, H, K, L, and T. All right. Middle zone is A, C, E, I, M, N, O, R, S, U, W, Y. Lower zone letters F, G, J, P, G. All right. Y and Z. All right. These are the various alphabets that you can see. So far, so good, everyone. Sure. No worries, Indu. That's absolutely all good. That's all right. All right. So far, so good. Okay, we understand the three zone theory. We understand the upper zone, we understand the middle zone, we understand the lower zone so far. Next up, again, very briefly, the upper zone is all about, you know, our vision, our intellect. All right. If it's a healthy upper zone, all right, then it's our vision, our intellect. If it's excess, it talks about escapism, it talks about ego. If it's a weak upper zone, if it's not properly created, it's lack of aspiration. So we interpret handwriting and signatures in combination, not in isolation. Middle zone traits, daily life handling. If you have a strong middle zone, there is high emotional maturity as well. If it's distorted, this person is a little confused by nature about their own identity. If it's inconsistent, there is some form of internal conflict going on. Okay. Last but not the least, talk about lower zone. Lower zone shows ambition, physical drive, money mindset, and energy levels. If you have a strong lower zone, the loops are properly created, all right? It shows emotional maturity. If it's distorted, identity confusion, all right? If it's inconsistent, right? It talks about internal conflict. So far, so good. If it's incomplete, yeah. If it's incomplete, it talks about internal conflict. If it's distorted, identity confusion. If it's a strong one, emotional maturity. Lower zone also talks about the kind of people that we connect with, the kind of money that we make, the kind of mindset that we have, the kind of energy that we have to complete certain tasks as well, that comes from the lower zone. So far, so good, everyone. If yes, just type yes in the chat box. Okay. Now, moving on. Let's play a small quiz. All right. Let's play a small quiz. Write down your answers in the chat box. All right. Tell me from these particular questions, from the first one, who holds back his feelings? Is it A or is it B? Just type it in the chat box. Is it A or is it B? Everyone. Okay. A. All right. A. A. All right. Super. So why does that happen? Because you have a left slant. All right. In the handwriting. Who holds back his feelings? That's the first one. Now, next up, who gets carried away by their feelings? Okay. Who's the one who gets carried away by the feelings? Is it A or is it B? Just put it up in the chat box. Is it A or is it B? Who gets carried away? B, right? Absolutely correct. Why? Because a right hand slant, which is the and very consistent form of writing. Next up, which teenager would you hire as your babysitter? A or B? Just put it up in the chat box. Which teenager would you hire? A or B? A, correct. A, fantastic. Right. So in this particular case, you would hire A as your babysitter because if you see in the handwriting very, very clearly, there's a lot of clarity, there's a lot of consistency in their baseline in pressure, as well in the clarity of their handwriting as well. All right, B is not as clear. They are clear minded. Exactly. Exactly. B is not so consistent. All right. Now, in this particular one, the fourth one, who do you think is lying? All right. Is it A or is it B? Is it A or is it B? All right. Bharat is leading with the answers. Right. Bharat, Archana, Mamta, Swati. Fantastic. Fantastic. B. Now, if you very, very carefully notice, if you see B over here, we were so very, very happy to see. Okay. Very, very happy. Now, if you see the space over here, consciously or unconsciously, they have put it up over here that, oh no, they were not so happy to see us. Right. So, with this particular quiz, right, you get a basic understanding of how you analyze a person's complete personality. More importantly, what's going on in their mind, who gets carried away by the feelings, who doesn't get carried away by the feelings, who would you hire as an individual. From a hiring perspective as well, if the handwriting is not very clear, if there's not a lot of clarity, you know that they are not going to function as efficiently as well in the babysitter's case, right? More importantly, if somebody is, verbally lying to you, now it would be their knack, it would be their talent, but on paper, a little too difficult for anybody else to lie to you. So far, so good, everyone? Yes? Are you guys enjoying this session so far? If you're getting a lot of value, if you're getting a lot of clarity, yes? Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. Next up, let's talk about the types of slants. Okay, we were just talking about that. There is reclined or the left slant, there is straight slant, inclined right slant, okay, or going in all directions, which is variable. You can see the examples over here. Okay, backhanded or reclined would look something like this. Straight up and down would look like something like this. Forward or inclined, going to the right hand side would look something like this, and going in all directions, basically this person is all over the place, right? So not so very consistent, not too stable as well. Okay. Okay, let's talk about personality and confidence markers. What does confidence look like in one's handwriting? Size of the handwriting would be balanced by nature. You would have stable baseline as well, clear letter formation, natural and clear spacing, nothing too exaggerated as well. But at the same time, what would be low confidence indicators? Basically, overcrowding the letters, overcrowding words as well. More importantly, tremors. Basically, the handwriting would not be very consistent by nature. You would see a lot of breaks in the alphabets as well. Another thing would be inconsistent pressure as well in one's handwriting. When we talk about inconsistent pressure, sometimes it's high pressure, sometimes very high pressure, sometimes low pressure, sometimes medium pressure, sometimes little to no pressure at all. All right. So these people are not very, very confident by nature. So far, so good, everyone? Yes. Fantastic. Fantastic. All right. Next, let's talk about fear and insecurity indicators. Okay. Now, what would fear show up as? Shrinking letters, letters that shrink in size, leftward pull as well. Basically, the writing which starts out normally, but then goes on to the left hand side, broken strokes and cover strokes. So, broken strokes basically not a lot of clarity in the handwriting, cutting, overwriting your handwriting as well. Cover strokes, basically, that kind of cover that you put at the end of a particular alphabet. Let's say you want to write down the word mice. Okay, you want to write down the word mice. All right. So when I write mice and I write E alphabet, With the E alphabet, I would just cover up the continuation of the entire word. All right, you just cover it up. We'll see examples of that as well. All right. So you would see a lot of fear, you would see a lot of insecurity in that particular aspect. Trauma and emotional blocks. Okay, this is something which is going to get a little heavy, but at the same point of time, this is something which is equally important as well. And it's quite sensitive too. When you look at this particular aspect in a person's handwriting, in the person's signature, immediately, we would not tell anybody that, you've suffered from a certain kind of trauma, or, you know, and you've got very deep psychological problems or issues like that. Be very sensitive in how you communicate that as to what's going on. But let's see what are the markers of emotional trauma in one's handwriting. Number one, sudden pressure changes. Sometimes it's heavy, sometimes it's low pressure, sometimes medium, sometimes light pressure, sometimes very little pressure. All right, that's number one. Secondly, interrupted flow as of your writing as well. Let's say that while I'm writing something, I would cancel it, or start from another line altogether, or there would be a whole lot of space between you know two lines, and the baseline would not be very clear. Next up, zone imbalance. All right. Zone imbalance would be basically the upper zone, middle zone, and lower zone is not very clear. So, like, very big or very prominent upper zone, but not so prominent middle zone or lower zone as well. So, that would be a zone imbalance in that particular aspect. Over control or rigidity in writing. So, you might have noticed, or you might have seen, that there are some people who write with a lot of pressure that sometimes even the page would completely tear apart as well. So why does this thing happen? This happens because this particular writer has gone through certain incidents, has been in certain situations, which has left a very, very deep psychological impact on their mind, on their body, and their complete personality. So, which is why, knowingly or unknowingly, consciously or unconsciously, they would remember those traumatic incidents, or they would remember those emotional incidents, which has a very deep impact on their persona. Okay, so far so good, everyone. All right, now let's deep dive into this. Emotional states reflected through baselines. All right, so you can see all different kinds of baselines over here. You can see a baseline which is descending as well. You can see a baseline which is absolutely straight, absolutely clear as well. You can see an erratic baseline which is going up and down, up and down. All right, right? A wavy baseline, more importantly. You can see an incoherent baseline. So basically, in this particular case, there is not a lot of clarity of where this person really wants to go, whether it's going uphill, whether it's going straight, whether it's going downhill. Not very, very clear. All right, incoherent baseline. And you can see the words are also being jumbled up together, which means that there is so much going on in this person's life, in this person's mind, that it becomes a little difficult to express that completely on paper. So, whatever jumbled up thought process that they have at this particular point, right, is coming up on paper, right? Whatever their deepest of emotions are just coming out. So there is no basic flow in the writing style. All right. Let's talk about very heavy pressure on the downstrokes. You can see over here the lower zones, Y alphabet, very heavy pressure on the downstroke. If it's like very heavy pressure, which means that they just want to communicate, they just want to prove a point, they just want to say something so deeply that, the other person, even if they want to say something, it would fall short in front of their situation or their emotional experience. All right. So that tends to happen as well. Somewhere they have been physically affected as well. All right. So that tends to happen. Now another very sensitive topic when we talk about this is just one moment. Erratic baselines, which we already spoke about. Suicidal baseline. All right. Now, whenever you see this in anybody's handwriting, mind you, all right, never tell them directly that these tendencies are there or these particular issues are going on. You frame it in a proper manner. You frame it in a way that they are willing to open up or they are willing to share their thoughts or ideas or what's going on in their mind. Basically, they just require some proper guidance, some hand holding to get them back to a state where they feel they can be themselves and not go in such extremes as well. So, possibly you can put it in a way that do you tend to feel low very easily? Do you feel down most of the time? That can be another way to put it. You can also say it in such a way that you know what makes you really happy. Try to engage them in a way that they start opening up slowly and steadily and they come out of that particular state. Okay, when we talk about suicidal baseline, because you see the writing tends to fall. All right, it's just going down and there's a sudden drop. All right, so suddenly they have this particular thought. All right, another thing, all right, emotional state that you can see uneven pressure, as I said, sometimes very energetic, sometimes not so energetic, sometimes yes, I'm adjustable, like I can get along with everyone. Sometimes they just don't want to talk to anybody at all right, so that is uneven pressure that you're seeing in one's handwriting. So far so good, everyone? Yes. Uh, Overpressure, I I would not say it overpressure, basically just exerting higher pressure, right? A little, how do I put it? Give me one moment, please. Basically, extra heavy pressure is something which I can say, right? More than what your regular heavy pressure is, right? We'll talk about that as we go ahead. All right, we have this particular thing. Next, emotional states reflected through baselines. Okay, let's talk a little bit more in detail about this particular aspect. Now, if somebody's writing has a dominating upper zone, okay, dominating upper zone just like this, right? The upper zone is so clearly reflected that I am somebody and I want to change the world and I am super ambitious, philosophical by nature, and my ideas are the best. These are the kind of people who live in a fantasy world. They are full of ideas, but very less support in reality. So you have a dominating upper zone in this case. Next up, you have a dominating middle zone. Middle zone is like very, very prominent. All right, we spoke about upper zone, middle zone, lower zone. You see, dominating middle zone, full of ego, immature like a child, concerned with outward appearances as well. All right, you can see all of that in a dominating middle zone writing like this, and here you can see the upper zone is so pronounced. All right. Last but not the least, you see dominating lower zone. All right. Just have a look over here. You see the Y alphabet, the P alphabet, the G alphabet, the J alphabet. All right. All of these are very, very prominent lower zone writing. Obsessed with money, material aspects of life, sexuality, and hold very, very strong opinions about their loved ones and family. All right. So that's dominating lower zone. So now we saw this through baselines. We saw this through zones as well, dominating upper zone, middle zone, and lower zone. So far, so good, everyone? Yes? If yes, just type yes in the chat box. If it's so far so good. For suicidal baseline, if the person does not open up their mouth, how to make them open? I would honestly say more than handwriting. Firstly, just have a regular conversation with them. Okay, get them to open up. They will take their time. Okay, they will take their time in sharing. If they believe in you, if they feel that you understand them, they will open up, and then step by step with very small changes, you help them with their handwriting and signature as well whenever you're noticing that. But never explicitly put it that you have suicidal tendencies. Okay, never explicitly put that. That is a little hurtful for them as well, because if somebody who's already thinking about it and the other person is also saying it out loud, right? Then it becomes like a double jeopardy for them. They try to think that, okay, the world is, kind of pushing me in that particular isolated zone as well. So don't get into that. Have a calm, peaceful, regular conversation. Everything would be good. Yeah. Dominating lower zone saves money, I guess. Yeah, they can save money, no doubt about that. But what they would also be is a little materialistic by nature as well. Like if they see somebody who doesn't have a lot of finances or isn't, willing to help them grow their own finances, they would get a little angry as well. They can get a little violent too in some cases. All right. So very, very sensitive by nature is what I would also add on to that. All right. Different types of handwriting. Let's move on to the next part. So you see large handwriting, you see overly large handwriting, you see medium-sized handwriting. All right. You see small handwriting, overly small handwriting, deep thinker, someone who's a little disturbed by nature. So let's talk about these various aspects. All right. I'll just give you a quick look once again. Large handwriting, overly large handwriting, medium-sized handwriting, small writing, overly small, microscopic handwriting, deep thinker. Okay. And this is somebody who is a little uh, disturbed by nature. Okay. Sounds good, everyone? All right. Next, let's talk about these particular various aspects. Somebody who has a large handwriting, socially extroverted by nature, love showing off, love planning big, extravagant, expansive, desire to be big and important, loves the fact that people come to them for advice, loves to be in a leadership position as well, loves showing off whenever they get a chance, or they would be like, oh, did you see my watch? Did you see my phone? Did you see my shoes? Did you see my clothes? Did you see my car? Right? Do you see my life? Oh, it's big, it's fantastic, it's great, right? Large handwriting, love connecting with people. They would be like the life of the party wherever they are going, and they love the attention as well. Now, overly large handwriting, if you can see overly large handwriting, desires to be seen, desires to be heard. They do big things, but internally they feel a little small, little unimportant, thrifty by nature, big spenders, somebody who has n number of subscriptions as well of OTT or any other softwares, obsessive tendencies, tends to draw attention to himself or herself. Okay. So like a pronounced personality of somebody who has a large handwriting. So large handwriting, slightly large. So that's overly large handwriting, and all of those aspects would be combined. Next up, you see medium-sized handwriting. Usually quite social by nature. They can concentrate on their tasks very well. They can connect with people also. So pretty normal, average, simple. They don't like to show off too much as such. They are just regular folks. All right. Next up, if you see small sized handwriting, okay, small size handwriting, love working behind the scenes, okay, introverted by nature, sharp concentration levels as well. They tend to feel small within themselves. They focus on being economical. They focus on being a little frugal by nature. These are the kind of people who would like to create budget sheets as well as to how much is being spent, what is being spent, where the money is going, where can I invest, things like that. Just like to be in their own zone. All right. You see, overly small, microscopic handwriting, something which is a little difficult to read. They can shut off everything around themselves, focus on their own thoughts and their writing, and they're quite deep into their own thought process. So this is the kind of people, these are the kind of people who would possibly switch off their phone, switch off television, computer, every single thing, just lock themselves in a single room and be in my own company, be in my own zone. I don't want to meet anyone. Not really interested. All right, overly small handwriting. So those kinds of traits, those kind of qualities would be seen in overly small handwriting. All right, let's talk about somebody who's a deep thinker. All right, we are talking about two versions now. All right, from the overly small microscopic handwriting. All right, we are talking about two versions. Someone who's a deep thinker, someone who is disturbed by nature. All right, we see over here someone who's a deep thinker, introverted, has a deep quest for personal knowledge. The sample is of Albert Schweitzer. Okay, Albert Schweitzer. This sample is of Albert Schweitzer. So basically, he shunned society completely, decided to live with his family among primitive people. All right. So this is like a much deeper version of somebody who has an overly small handwriting. All right. They don't care about society. They just want to be with their family. They will go in a far off place where, social contact is not so, prevalent or not quite possible, to be very honest. All right. And somebody who has a disturbed kind of handwriting, you can see clarity is, little to none in this particular case. They want to be self-aware. You can say that, but at the same point of time, they would cut off any social contact in a second. Okay, so they are in their own zone. Talking about somebody who is disturbed by nature, you can see there is not a lot of clarity over here. So what tends to happen? They are disturbed from within, withdrawn, a little unproductive by nature. Less legibility shows that they cut off from environmental relationships. They enjoy being in their own world. This kind of writing has lesser legibility from the one who's a deep thinker. Okay, lesser legibility, which means that it's like a code language or something which only they can understand. That okay, I just want to be in my own space, not talking to anyone. All right, because of what they have been through or what issues that they have had. So now you understand why clarity, why legibility is so important. It is so essential in one's handwriting. Okay, sounds good, everyone. So far, so good. I hope you're getting a lot of clarity, you're understanding about different traits, different personalities. So far, so good, everyone. Just put down yes in the chat box if it's so far, so good for you. Okay. All right. Moving on. Yeah, fantastic. Now, what are the healing and recovery signs? Healing is definitely visible in one's handwriting. Number one, the flow of writing returns. Okay, pressure starts to stabilize, wherein if somebody was writing with a high pressure, low pressure, medium pressure, little to no pressure at all, they write in one consistent pressure. Now, softer curves, improved spacing, and they have a natural flow in which they write, in which they sign as well, not lifting the pen too many times to write as well. This shows that somebody who is healing, somebody who's recovering, somebody who's getting better, somebody who's becoming more self aware about their traits, about their personality, about their quality. All right, all those things definitely come into play. Relationship and attachment patterns. Okay, this is an interesting part. What handwriting reveals in relationships. Okay, this talks about emotional availability, need for space versus closeness, dependency patterns, trust issues. You focus on patterns, not focusing on the labels. So now this is again quite a sensitive topic as well when we talk about relationship, when we talk about attachment as well. So what tends to happen is that be it friends, be it family, be it your romantic partners, all right, whenever you have that kind of deep, intimate relationship in these three categories, or even let's say from a professional standpoint, okay, with your boss, right? You do share a professional relationship, all right? So when we talk about emotional availability, how emotionally invested are you as an individual? That can be seen. Need for space versus closeness, that, you know, physically, do you want them to be there? Do you not want them to be there? Somebody who has a habit of touching every time, touching the other person every single time that they communicate. Come to know about that as well. Dependency patterns as well. How dependent or independent are you in a particular relationship? You can come to know about that. Do you trust each other or not? You can come to know about trust as well. Focusing on patterns and not labels. Okay, so we will focus on the various patterns in the handwriting and not just label the traits. Sounds good, everyone? Yeah? Okay. Types of spacing in handwriting and what does it exactly mean? Let's have a look at that. Now, if you see overly wide spaces between words, all right, you can see this is overly wide space. This is the kind of person who can't get intimate with people, can't trust people really, a little suspicious by nature, can't get along with people really, really well. They like to be in their own zone, for that matter of fact, very independent in their own thought process as well. So that is overly wide spaces between words that you can see. Now, next up, you see overly wide spaces between letters. Okay. You see over here, there is a lot of space between letter. This is overly wide. Now, these are the kind of people socially isolated, detached by nature, keeps an abnormal distance between himself or herself and other people as well. So, again, this is the kind of person who wants to keep people just far away, would not get emotionally invested in any relationship as well. All right. So, that's what we see. They would not sacrifice too much for other people, also. All right. Let's see overly narrow spaces between letters. All right, you don't see a lot of space between the letters over here. Uptight, narrow-minded, tends to have a tense posture, isn't loose, isn't relaxed. That tends to show up in the handwriting. Would sacrifice way too much for somebody else as well. Would, you know, always want to keep everyone together. Right? These people can't be alone as well. Right? Closely spaced letters with overly wide separation between words. Okay, so you can see this is closely spaced letters, but a lot of separation between the words. All right, what does that mean? Uptight, socially awkward, extremely paranoid, incapable of intimacy, and can't adjust in their own social life. So basically, they would not know what to do, how to express their feelings, how to express their emotions as well. And when we talk about paranoia or getting paranoid by nature, they would get a little irritated on every small aspect and well, wouldn't be able to express the desire for closeness with another individual. All right. Now, you see cramped letters and cramped spacing between words. All right. Cramped letters and cramped spacing between words. You see, this is not a lot of space that you can see, neither in letters nor in words. It's just very tight, very together. So, let me tell you this thing. Yeah. This is the kind of person who's uptight, a little narrow-minded, no proper distance between people around them, no social boundary, very nosy. What did you have today? What did you eat today? Where did you go today? What time did you wake up today? What time did you sleep today? Very nosy, want to get into your business every single time, tends to touch you when you talk, what I was talking about earlier, pat on the back, all right, violating your personal space by asking you things like, how much did you pay for a certain item that you have, and many more aspects. So compulsive need to be physically close to each other, just like you see in their words. All right. They just want people around them consistently. Right. That tends to happen. Now you see tangling lines. All right. That words and letters, they intertwine each other. They get tangled in each other. It's like, how do I put it? It's like a community which cannot operate without each other. Like even if there was one person who was who's not going to be there, the entire group would be confused. All right. So it's like a tangling lines, highly confused by nature. More lines entangle amongst each other, more confused they feel as well. All right. Now, these are the kind of people who would simply plan a lot, but even if they get a lot of guidance from the outside, they would still be thinking, should I really do this? Should I go for this? Am I going to succeed? Am I not going to succeed? What's really going on? So extremely confused in their heads. Uneven spacing. All right, you can see spacing is not very clear. Sometimes it is very wide, sometimes it is very narrow. This is an example of uneven spacing. All right. Struggling with their own thoughts and feelings, inferior intelligence or low functioning intelligence at that particular point in time. The writer has an uneven thinking process which leads to confusing actions. Let's say that I don't have a clear plan, or I don't know what I want to do with my day to day. And I suddenly decide I'm going to the mall, then I will head out to Nasik, and then I'll head out to Pune, and then I'll go to Bangalore. And then possibly I'll try coming back to Mumbai after 15 days. So you see, there's not there is no clarity. There is no clear thought process as to what's going on. And more importantly, the itinerary also that I just gave, that was very confusing as to what do you really want to do over there, going to so many places, right? So that comes in the uneven spacing part. Now, generally large spacing between letters, words, and these two lines. Okay, they just like to write in a large way. Okay, if they have a large spacing between letters, between their words, and the lines that they are writing in on a blank sheet of paper, broad-minded, generous, has an attitude of letting loose, being open in their nature and personality. Oh, okay. So I spent 2 lakh rupees today. I met about 300 to 400 people, and yeah, that's my life. I don't really care how much is there in my account, somebody else's account. It's just all right. I don't worry about it too much. So that kind of attitude tends to come into play. Yes, are you guys able to, you know, catch up with the pace, stay in connected with whatever I am saying so far. If you just type yes in the chat box, are you enjoying this session so far? Just type enjoying in the chat box, right? We are slowly and steadily coming towards the end of the session, but yeah, there's a lot that I would like to share with you. So far, so good. Yeah. All right. Fantastic. Fantastic. That's great. I'm glad. I'm glad. Okay. Now, moving on to the next part. Compatibility in handwriting. All right. So complementary traits work better whenever you're seeing anybody's handwriting. Any two people that, let's say, are in a relationship that they are connecting, be it friends, be it romantic life, right? Compatibility really, really matters. All right. In terms of, let's say, if two people have similar traits, if both of them have high pressure handwriting, if both of them have clarity in handwriting, both of them are highly energetic by nature, then they have a clear thought process. They are extremely hardworking by nature as well. But where does the clash really happen? Pressure mismatch is there. Like someone is writing high pressure, super energetic by nature. Somebody is writing very light or low pressure writing. They don't really care, right? They are in their own zone, right? And they don't care for high energy too much. They would feel that, okay, how they are feeling on that particular day is the vibe that they will go with. Rhythm mismatch as well. Somebody is writing in a basic straight baseline or an uphill baseline, and somebody is writing, but their baseline is descending by nature, and there's like a sudden drop as well. So that's the kind of person, like, when it comes to a baseline which is straight or which is going uphill, right? Ascending baseline, these are the kind of people who would be very upbeat by nature, very positive about life, right? Positive about everything, for that matter of fact. But with a sudden drop in baseline or a descending baseline, they would tend to feel low very easily, or they get a certain news from their friend, family, or their loved ones, and suddenly there's a change in their mood, change in their thought process as well. So there's a rhythm mismatch, emotional pace mismatch. Again, when it comes to the emotional pace mismatch, we see that by the number of lines that they are writing. That's number one. Secondly, we also see with the clarity in their handwriting. Somebody who is writing very clearly, they are very confident by nature. All right. And they know exactly what's going on in their mind. But somebody who writes with some form of illegibility or not a lot of clarity, so they are a little confused by nature. They are a little more stressed at this particular point in time. So again, that emotional pace mismatch is also there. When I was talking about the number of lines written, let's say on a certain piece of paper, right? Whenever we talk about that, it talks about the fact that how many activities can a person take up in a certain day as well. Let's say if there is someone on an A4 size sheet of paper writes too many lines, right? They just fill up the entire page. They want to do everything. Okay. And these are the kind of people who want to maximize their day, maximize their potential. But if somebody is writing with fewer number of lines, these are the kind of people who basically want to take it a little slow as well, and they just want to be a little more on the easier side. Let's say if they have 10 tasks, they would possibly finish only 3 or 5 at max. They would not go full throttle on that. Okay, straight baseline, yes. Disciplined childhood, no doubt about that. Let's talk about career and money mindset. Let's talk about how you build a strong career, strong money mindset. All right. So career indicators would be, detail orientation, risk appetite, discipline versus creativity, consistency as well. So when you talk about detail orientation, which means number one, clarity in their handwriting. Secondly, let's say on the I alphabet, on the J alphabet, you have a clear I dot as well. T alphabet crossbar is on the upper side as well. They have a high risk appetite as well. Handwriting is going towards the right margin and not staying as much in the left margin as well. Discipline versus creativity. All right. Also, another thing is that handwriting, yes, definitely, you are writing in a straight baseline, but at the same point of time, even if the handwriting is going a little uphill, they are very upbeat about their career, their own thought process as well. When we talk about creativity, again, clarity in writing, the R alphabet should be very clear. The E alphabet, A alphabet, B alphabet also should be clear in their loop formation as well to express themselves more clearly. Consistency in their writing style. So when we talk about consistency in one's writing style, this is all about not having too many wavy baseline formations from a writing point of view and even from a margin point of view. Even the signature is very clear as well. There are not too many drooping lines, not too many drooping words or alphabets as well while writing. Again, we can talk about consistency in terms of the pressure as well. If they're writing in high pressure, they're writing in high pressure. If they're writing in light pressure, they're writing in light pressure. There's no uneven or variable pressure aspect that you're seeing for building a strong career as well. When we talk about money mindset indicators, so clarity in numbers is very, very important as well. So, like, even when we talk about the numbers that you write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, okay, whatever that you are writing, if there is not a lot of clarity in the number formation that you're creating, it shows, okay, it shows that you are not feeling too confident about your finances as well. But if the numbers are very, very clear, it tends to show that you are clear in your head, you know what to do, you know how to manage your finances as well. Control and avoidance as well. Now, as you all know that when we talk about the money mindset, all right, we also talk about the lower zone, Y alphabet, G alphabet, J alphabet formation, the lower zone loops, which are the flexor and the extensor formation that we are creating. All right, flexor, which means if it's going downwards, and extensor going upwards. So if it's clearly formed and you have complete control on that, you know that you have a strong money mindset. At the same point of time, you know how to save, you know how to invest, and more importantly, how to get more financial opportunities as well. So financially abundant in your thought process. All right. But if when we talk about avoidance, if the loops are not very clear, if the lower zone is not very well formed, all right, you wouldn't worry too much about it. At the same point of time, you would be like, okay, if my money is being spent in certain areas, I don't really want to budget. I don't really want to track as much. So poor money mindset that you can see. And stability versus impulsivity. Okay, stability versus impulsivity. Again, in terms of your writing, in terms of your number formation, in terms of your signature. If you're stable, if you're clear, if you're legible in your writing style, that shows that you have a much higher clarity in your thought process, great intelligence as well, and you know where to stop and you know where to spend. All right. But at the same point of time, there are a lot of people who would impulsively spend as well. That okay, I just got this idea today. I'm gonna spend 2 lakhs or 3 lakhs or 4 lakhs or let's pick up a subscription just for the fun of it. Right? That's impulsive spending. If you really don't know what you're getting out of it, even if you know you really don't care about the price, right? So that's impulsive the getting things. So that is also not a good thing because there is not a lot of stability, there is uneven pressure in writing, not a lot of legibility in your writing style as well, right? So far, so good, everyone. Yes. So this is like a very basic and a brief introduction that I'm giving you about career, about money mindset as well. Now, what are the traits about career success and money mindset? Have a look at this. This is a true ascending baseline which is going upwards. So, what does that really show? This shows that this person is positive in their attitude. They enjoy staying busy, active, constantly on the go, high mental energy into everything. Usually, successful people in their career have this style of handwriting, handwriting which is going upwards, signature which is going upwards. Now, another interesting fact is that people who are very, very strong with their verbal skills, who are good orators, these are the kind of people who would not doodle as much. You know, doodling, right? You create that star, you create boxes, you create waves, or you create different kinds of artistic formations on paper. Those are called doodling. Okay, that's doodling. So people who have got strong verbal skills, they indulge in fewer doodles or doodling habits. But people who've got creative professions, somebody who is a singer, somebody who's a writer, somebody who's an artist, somebody who's a performer, right? They would indulge in more doodling than somebody who has a structured career in accounting, IT, engineering, finance, right? They would indulge in more doodling. Somebody who is very, very creative by nature. All right. So that is one particular aspect. Next, have a look over here. All right. Who's more dishonest about money? We were talking about money mindset. All right. Between A and B. Over here, if you very carefully see, option A is more dishonest about money because numbers are unclear and touched up. You see over here, there's not a lot of clarity in the numbers. So they tend to be a little dishonest about money, about their finances. Whereas option B over here is very, very clear. All right. They are more clear, more honest about money as the numbers are easy to read. Writing numbers illegibly is the number one handwriting trait shared by convicted embezzlers, people who indulge in any kind of fraud, indulge in any kind of scams about finances. All right. So that tends to happen. So far, so good, everyone. Yes. So this is about career success, and we talk about the money mindset. This is just a small point that we are talking about. Next up, you see pressure as a psychological load. All right. So if you have very heavy pressure, which we were talking about earlier, which Mamta was also mentioning, right? Pressure that is too heavy. What tends to happen? See this particular example. There is high frustration. They can be physically and verbally violent, crossing out on mistakes that rip the page apart completely. Okay. This is a sample of Jack the Ripper. All right. A very, very infamous convicted criminal. All right. And this kind of pressure can often lead to cruelty as well. So, this is the pressure that is too heavy. If you ever notice that, be very careful in how you communicate with them because verbally and physically they can get extremely violent. All right. Even if you see extra viscosity or, uh, very, very heavy pressure that would almost tear the page apart. Uneven pressure. Okay. So as I was talking about the fact that sometimes it is high pressure, sometimes it is low pressure, sometimes it is light pressure, sometimes medium pressure, sometimes little to no pressure at all, uneven pressure. This is the kind of pressure, this kind of pressure is for the writer who tends to worry too much, pacing up and down, very nervous, tends to stop, slow down, move again, then pace again. Okay. This is uneven pressure that you're seeing in one's handwriting. So far, so good. Everyone, I hope you're getting a lot of clarity, right? About what is heavy pressure, what is uneven pressure, what is the money mindset indicator, what is the career success indicator as well. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about a fun quiz. All right. Now, which writer appears more dishonest amongst this? I mean, the answer is already here, but I'm still asking you to put it up in the chat box, right? You see A and you see B over here. So B over here is more dishonest by nature. Why? Lack of spontaneity, calculated behavior, knows that they have something to hide. You see, every single letter that they are writing is writing with so much of concentration that you instantly know that there is something hidden. Whereas if you see in number A, the first A option, there's more consistent form of writing. There's not a lot of inconsistency, and there's a simple flow of writing as well. All right. And see this particular part. You see double or triple looped ovals. All right. Who appears more secretive? Somebody who is less open. All right. The answer is A. You see over here, the looped ovals. You can read, you can see A alphabet, D alphabet. So double and triple looped oval formation. All right. So the answer is A. Double and triple looped oval formation shows secretiveness. Too many of them is a sign of deceit as well. They are not telling you the real story. Think of it as a mouth. Okay. If it's open, if it's clear, the oval shape in O alphabet, A alphabet, they are open, they are very talkative. If it's closed, average expression. If it's double looped, secretive, filtered speech, you would not really know what is going on in their mind. So far, so good, everyone. Just give me a yes in the chat box if it's so far, so good, that you're getting clarity, you're understanding everything so far. Yes. Okay. Fantastic. Talking about advanced stroke directions. So if it's a forward stroke, but if it's written with hesitation, there's a lot of inner conflict that is going on if it's moving on to the right hand side. Now, if it's heavy pressure, but the speed is very slow, lots of emotional burden that they are going through. If the writing is very fast and pressure is uneven, mental overload, too many thoughts going on in their mind. Okay. Zone imbalance patterns, what can we see? If you have a strong upper zone but a weak middle zone, this person is a daydreamer, not good with execution as well. And these are the kind of people who would take time in executing their ideas, but they would come up with many of them, and their imaginative power would be very, very high. If the lower zone is very strong, and if it's very tight in the middle zone is not as strong. So it shows a pressure driven life. So when we talk about the lower zone, we talk about the physical drive, we talk about the finances, we talk about taking care of their loved ones, their family, their friends, right? Very particular about their finances also. So, and in the middle zone that we have, it's talk about our everyday life. But if it's not very clear, it's just a lot of pressure that they are putting onto themselves. All right. And it can be pressure and it can be pleasure driven life as well. Okay. Pressure and pleasure driven life as well. Weak upper zone, strong middle zone. If their thought process is not so good, but their middle zone, their present reality is a little strong. They are practical by nature, but the vision is not as the vision is not as strong. They're quite limited in their vision. which means they would be somebody who would be like, I'm happy with 30,000 rupees a month or 40,000 rupees a month. They would never think about 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs, 4 lakhs, 5 lakhs, or 10 lakhs. Okay. So when it comes to their job, when it comes to their business, they are okay as it is, but they would feel that, okay, this is a practical call. This is something which I am okay to deal with as well. Okay, stress and burnout signals in your handwriting. Stress leave your signatures with tremors, tight angular formation, over pressing each and every single word, uneven rhythm, no proper baseline, no proper pressure, right? So uneven rhythm, if it's going upwards, downwards, that tends to happen. By the time the body crashes, the handwriting has already warned us that this particular person, he or she, is not in the zone today, and they just need a little bit of time off as well. Okay. Signature versus text. So basically, our handwriting, all right, our handwriting shows our true operating self. It shows how we are in our personal life. How do we communicate? How do we connect with people? How do we operate? What is our daily tasks like? And more importantly, how we are in our personal life and what is our overall personality like. Signature is like your projected identity. That, let's say, for a matter of fact, that if you have a small handwriting but a large signature, okay, so small handwriting would be that in your own life, you just want to be with a select few set of people and just spend time with family. Even friends would be very, very limited. But when you have a large signature with public, you are a completely different individual, right? And you would love to connect with people, take as many initiatives as possible, connect with as many people as you want or you would like to. That would be your life, larger than life personality. On the inside, you're a completely different person. Similarly, when it matches, when the handwriting size is same, signature size is same, all right? The way you are in your personal life, you are in your public life the exact same way. All right, that tends to happen. And if from a signature point of view, your public or projected identity is very small and the handwriting is very big. So when people meet you in public, you like to keep a much lower profile. But in your personal life, you want everything larger than life, right? That tends to happen. Defense mechanism indicators: tight spacing between letters and words, heavy pressure. You tend to get a little defensive by nature. Left slant and sharp strokes as well. All right. So if you're having handwriting which starts from the left hand side, or it slants to the on the left, it's reclined on the left hand side. Plus, you have sharp angular formations in your writing style, you can get so defensive in terms of that even if I was to mention even remotely about your public life or your professional life, you would lash out at me, or you would get angry at me, or you would just go into your own cell or in your own zone. Okay. Narrow middle zone plus high T bars. Okay. Narrow middle zone, which means presently you're not feeling so confident, but high T bars, which means at the same time you feel very ambitious. So you don't want that people should make fun of your ideas or, uh, you know, put out any kind of criticism as well. That I would say. So narrow middle zone and high T bars. So these are like defense mechanism indicators. Disclaimer is that the indicator does not mean that you diagnose the individual with those qualities, but those traits are definitely there. And we don't see traits in isolation, we observe patterns first. Okay. Deception and masked personalities. Deception indicators, not singular traits. So basically, cover strokes, covering your entire name, covering your entire signature from a writing point of view, and from a signature point of view, inconsistencies in handwriting, high pressure, uneven pressure, low pressure, baseline would be a little inconsistent by nature. Artificial symmetry as well. Artificial symmetry would basically be that you're starting on the left margin, but you're possibly not reaching as much as you would like to towards the right margin as well. At the same point of time, there are certain people who would be a little indisciplined by nature, but they would, fold that particular line on an A4 sized sheet of paper. All right, they would fold the line and then they would create their writing style, saying that, okay, I'm doing this in a very clear, very disciplined format, something like that. Another thing, somebody, let's say, is not a very, very good planner, all right, but tends to put serial numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? And then writing down points accordingly. They know who they are, but at the same point of time, they don't want other people to know more about them or about their personality altogether. All right. Disconnected pressure logic. Disconnected pressure logic basically, they know they have a connected handwriting. Let's say, for a matter of fact, they know they have a connected handwriting, but they would knowingly disconnect their handwriting. So that also tends to happen. They want to deceive other people that they want to be a little less social, they want to be in their own zone, their own space, but actually they love people, they love connecting and love sharing their thoughts and ideas. So the case in point over here is that one trait, a single trait, doesn't mean that this person is a liar. Patterns matter in one's handwriting. All right. So deception and hiding personality indicators. Okay. So let's have a look over here. Who is feeling defensive and has something to hide over here? Okay. So you see between A and B, all right, B is feeling defensive and has something to hide. So this is the kind of cover stroke that I was talking about when you see over here. If you are afraid and someone's going to attack you, are you going to stand like this or like this? All right. Somebody's going to attack you, you'll be standing like this. Obviously, not like this. Oh, okay, come and attack me. No, you would not do that. All right. So that is one particular trait. Next, talking about who's more consistent, who's more stable by nature. Definitely B is more consistent, more stable, because you see the clarity in the handwriting, clarity in their baseline, clarity in the way that they are creating their alphabets as well. But you see A over here, sometimes it is large case letters, sometimes it is small case letters. Overlapping of letters are happening as well. All right. So this shows consistency. There's not as much. All right. Next up, if you see who doesn't let you see the whole truth, the answer is B. Why it is B? Remember, segmented letters from the chapter on printing. When someone prints letters, so that pieces of the letters themselves don't touch each other, that is associated with hiding and deception. Okay. If you can see over here, they are not even letting that letters touch each other. It's broken letters. So they would not let you understand what's going on in their life. Whereas you see an A alphabet, very clear, very consistent, even if it's in block letters, they are writing it with more clarity and they're not trying to hide anything as such. All right. Last but not the least, you see Michael Jackson. Okay, one of the greatest pop stars of all time. The kind of life that he led in the public, right? very famous, very popular, a legend, an icon. But if you see from a personal life point of view, personality point of view, how much was he trying to keep himself away also? How much was he trying to hide? How much he wanted to, be in his own zone, be in his own shell as well. So you see these kind of cover strokes in Michael Jackson's handwriting and signature. All right, let's do a live demonstration. Let's analyze together. All right, write 3 to 4 lines on a blank piece of paper. Don't copy anything and sign your name below. And try to relate to what traits or what qualities come up. All right, let's do that together. All right, give me one moment, please. Yeah. So while you do that, I'll just speak about a few more aspects while we come to the close. While we come to a close for the session. All right. So ethics and responsibility. What graphology should not be used for? It is not for labeling. It is not for judging. It's not for diagnosing illnesses. It's not for making life decisions alone. It's always in a combination of patterns that you are seeing. At the same point of time, where is this particular knowledge used? It is used for self awareness, parenting, relationship, hiring, coaching, and healing professions. Okay. What's next? All right. So, very soon I would be working on a full fledged advanced course as well, where we would learn more about full personality profiling, trauma mapping, relationship charts, career alignment, and graphotherapy. Graphotherapy, I feel, is something which every single one of you is quite familiar with right now. But going ahead, when we talk about more advanced techniques when it comes to handwriting and signature analysis, we would have a particular course on that as well. Okay, and we would also talk about your handwriting and signature in a moment. So, last but not the least, I would like to share that your handwriting never lies, but it always waits to be understood. A big thank you to each and every single one of you for your time today. And I'm ready to take your questions. I'm ready to help you out in the best way possible. And let's do a quick analysis of your handwriting and signature. Sounds good, everyone? Yes. I'll just stop shared for a moment. Okay, perfect. How was that? Archana, Mamta, Swati, Bharti, Bharat. Okay. Adya, all good?
Yes, sir. It
Fantastic.
was a very good session for
Good
me,
session. Okay.
and I got the opportunity to revise all the concepts that I have learned from your videos.
Fantastic. Fantastic. I'm very, very glad. Thank you. Thank you so very much. Yes. Just one moment, please. Yeah. Okay. Anyone else? Archana, Swati, Bharti, Bharat, anything that you would like to share? How was the session for you all? Did you enjoy the session?
Thank
Anything
you,
that you would
Pawan.
like to share?
Hi.
Yes. Hello. Yes, Archana.
Thank you, Pawan. It was so nice.
Thank you.
I need to see the recording once again, but it was very nice. Again,
Thank you.
overall knowledge is brushed off. मस्त हो गया.
Yes, yes.
Revision and all. So nice
Absolutely,
to see you
absolutely.
once again. अच्छा लगता है classes.
हाँ,
Whatever you
नहीं,
can
नहीं.
implement, I am doing that. But
Fantastic.
more paid.
Okay.
Too good.
Fabulous.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so very much.
Bye.
Thank you,
Bharti
sir,
said,
for the wonderful session.
thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so much,
much for your
Swati.
time. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. Bharti is saying it was a really good session. Overall revision clarified a lot of doubts. Yes, that's great. I'm glad. Yes, fantastic. We have Bharat as well. Yes, Bharat.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for this beautiful session. Brushed up everything in just 2 hours. Thank you
Yep,
so much.
absolutely, absolutely. I'm
Yes,
glad.
yes,
I'm glad that you liked the session, right?
yes,
And you've been doing a great job on the group as well, right?
yes.
By
Thank
sharing
you.
so many insights.
Yes,
So
yes, yes.
it's amazing. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I'll share the recording very soon. No doubt about that. And also, I would like to ask you all that anybody, who has any doubts, any questions that you would like to ask me, please do let me know. I will help you out with that as well. So, yeah. And if you want me to see your handwriting and signature right away, I can help you with that as well. So that can also work. Yeah. Yes, Bharat.
Hello, sir.
Hello. Yes, 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 Swati. Yes, please tell me.
Yes, sir. One question with me.
Please.
Like somebody's signature is only without his or her surname.
Okay.
Only the name is there, not
Hmm.
surname.
Hmm.
So how do we analyze that particular signature?
Only the surname is there and their name is not there,
No,
right?
no, surname is not there. Name is
Surname is the
there.
only name is there. Okay, I'm
Yes,
sorry. Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Okay. So whenever you're seeing somebody's signature with only their name, all right,
Mm.
what are the basic traits? What are the basic qualities of this individual? Firstly, this is the kind of person who likes to do everything in their own style. That's number one. Secondly, they would not listen to other people very, very easily as well. Third most important thing, there would be a lot of well-wishers. There would be a lot of people who would like to guide them, but at the same point of time, they would like to do things which they feel is right. Okay. Another thing that they have this particular thought process of running away at times also, because with so much going on in their mind, they just want to do everything as quickly as possible. They are extremely social by nature as well. Another trait that you can see, people who sign their first name, they are quite enterprising by nature as well. Plus, if you see it in more detail, if signature, let's say, is going upwards, okay, again, these are the kind of people who are very optimistic, who are focusing on the solutions instead of the problems. At the same point of time, right? If this particular signature of the first name, right? If it has an underline, that's good. They feel very supported by nature. But if the underline is not there, they are a little isolated and they want to be in their own zone, in their own space. Like they put in a lot of efforts, but they would feel a little unsupported by nature as well. If that this particular signature for that matter of fact, let's say if it is going downwards, all right, they would tend to
Mm.
feel low very easily as well. So these are like basic traits, basic qualities, but depending on how that particular single name signature is created, that is there. And another basic trait or basic quality of this individual is that if, let's say, a decision has to be made, okay, then he or she wants that their opinion should always be taken into consideration first.
Okay.
Okay. So that is something which is very, very important for them, because it's all about themselves, right? They are not considering family, they are not considering career, they are not considering profession at this particular point in time, right? They are concerned about themselves. Even if they are creating something, they are concerned about their image, they are concerned about their public personality. So that would come into question. But again, this would also vary in terms of how the signature is created. So this is like a basic overview that I have
Okay.
shared with you when it comes to somebody just writing their first name in the signature. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
No worries, no worries. All good, all good. Mamta is asking that what about the underline if it is missing? If the underline is missing in this particular case, all right, what tends to happen is that this person has had a certain incident in their life which has had a very deep impact on their personality. And now they want to be by themselves or be in their own zone as well. And this particular incident that has happened in their lives, very few people know about it in this case. All right. So that is what that's what it means when it comes to the underline not being there. And they are looking out for a certain support system as well. So yeah,
Okay, got it, sir.
Sir, this is my
got
handwriting.
okay,
One second.
got it, got it. Okay, just give me one moment, please. Can you straighten it a little bit? Like this is the little, like just put it straight. The camera, yeah,
Vertically.
vertically, vertically. Yeah. Thank you for pointing it out. Yeah, Bharat. Just one second. Yeah, much better. Thank you. Thank you so much. Just leave it, just keep it steady. All right, today I've attended. All right, let me analyze the signature for you. All right. When it comes to this particular handwriting, when it comes to this particular signature, number one, you can see there's a lot of clarity in thought process, especially from the signature. Everything is very legible, everything is very clear. So they know what they want, they know how they wish to communicate their thoughts, their feelings, their ideas as well, be it in terms of themselves, be it in terms of their family, their career, their profession as well. All right. That is there. You have the double dots in the middle also. So that's also a good thing. So getting a lot of support from your friends, family, extended family as well. Okay. Very ambitious by nature, Bharat. You see the T crossbar, which is right up over there. All right. Very detail oriented as well. You see the I alphabet dot. That's very, very clear. I would also say that Bharat, take care of your eyes, ears, and stomach because E alphabet is not very, very clear. Right now, there would be some aspects of selective listening that is happening in your life as well. So do take care of that as well. Okay. Another thing when it comes to, let's say, your love life. All right. You wouldn't like anybody else to give you opinions on how things should be in your love life. Right. You see the K alphabet, it's very clear, very pronounced. It almost looks like a capital K alphabet, right? In the particular writing style, which is there. Okay, let me see more. The handwriting, which is going upwards, very positive, very optimistic by nature. All right, that is there. You see the left margin is very, very clear. All right. So you've been brought up in a disciplined household as well. Okay, very well supported with your parents as well. You see the I alphabet strokes are very clear as well. In I have attended. All right. You take up way too many tasks, right? At the same point of time, you might feel stressed very, very easily because the double T formation which you have in your writing style. Okay, just give me one moment. Hmm. Bharat, you are putting in a whole lot of efforts for yourself, for your family as well. But still, some you are looking out for a little bit more of support as well. That's what I feel because the underline it should start from the B alphabet, end at the I alphabet. It's ending at the I alphabet, but in some cases, the underline is not starting exactly at the B alphabet, starting from H over here. Okay. You are somebody who is in a leadership position right now, right? And it's like being very ambitious by nature and being the breadwinner for the family as well. Okay, that is another aspect. Very creative by nature. You like to design a lot of things. Um, very independent in your thought process. You can see that through the spacing of your writing style. You connect very well with people. People connect with you, but you might not get a lot of time for yourself as well. You need to start drinking more water as well. Very good with your intuition, right? You see the N alphabet. When I was talking about drinking water or the memory part of it, it was through the connected handwriting that I was talking about. Okay. Okay. Just one moment, please. Um, so yeah, this is on a very basic level that I have analyzed your handwriting and signature, but just bring about a few improvements, like in the E alphabet, in the underline, which is there. Instead of that double T formation, just try to put the crossbars separately as well. That should also be all right, should not be a problem. So yeah, overall, it's pretty good. Yes, Bharat.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank.
Actually, I have changed the signature with your suggestion only.
Okay, that's great.
Little bit. What I think I need to do little bit line from B.
Okay.
Okay, I actually have practiced 55 times as you mentioned for the signature.
Right.
I
And
have
how are
changed.
you feeling with this, Bharat?
Oh, excellent, sir. I'm feeling very much comfortable.
Okay.
Yes, I have to improve with the E alphabet and double T. I just came to
Right.
know now only. As
Right.
I didn't know this. I will do it separately, double T
Sure.
and
No
E.
worries. Yeah,
Sir, how
absolutely.
to identify that drinking water is required?
So that was basically through your connected handwriting is what I saw. So
Okay,
when we
okay.
talk about connected handwriting, it's
Mm,
like you're connecting well with people, people are connecting with you. Okay, you're quite social by
o-
nature. At the same point of time, you're giving a lot of your time in your social tasks as
o-
well. But because so much is happening around you, you might
mm,
not get a lot of time to take care of your own self. So when
yes.
we talk about our own selves, we talk about the very basics. We talk about drinking water, we talk about eating well, we talk about sleeping well as
Mm,
well. So in that particular case, what tends to happen is that your sleeping pattern also tends to get affected at times.
mm.
Okay. So that is something which needs to be taken care of.
Okay,
So
sir, sure.
yeah, overall, those changes are need to be made, and our alphabet also try to bring about more clarity. That
Okay.
will help you in becoming more creative as well, getting more ideas. So overall, that will help you out a lot.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much.
No worries,
Yes,
man.
I would
All
like
good.
to add something.
Yes, please tell me, Mamta.
Like since I changed my signature,
Hmm,
a lot of my letters you said. So since then, I feel I am like more confident now. My confidence
that's
level
fantastic.
has been built up.
That's fantastic. I'm glad. That's really good. Yeah, and that is primarily the essence of graphology, to increase your confidence, to increase your self-esteem, to reduce your stress levels, and to give you maximum clarity.
स्ट्रेस लेवल तो अभी भी वैसे ही है
Acha, कोई बात नहीं. That's absolutely fine. It can definitely be
वो
worked
वो
upon.
फ्लक्चुएट एक्चुअली होता रहता है कभी कम कभी
Okay,
ज्यादा
got
बट
it.
आई हैव अ टेंडेंसी टू वरी मच
Okay, got it. No worries. So, like, once I see your handwriting, once again, right, what is your current handwriting right now? So then by looking at that, I can help you out accordingly.
all right I'll send that
Yeah,
in personal ठीक है
sure,
or in
sure,
the group
sure.
whatever it is
No worries. That's all good.
all right thank
Perfect.
you
Great. Thank you. Thank you so
all
very
right
much.
okay thank you so much
Thank you. Okay. So any other questions for me? Sunita,
No, sir.
Bharat, Swati,
No,
Mamta,
no,
Anju.
sir.
Okay.
no
All
sir
right.
all right
No worries. Okay. So let's just take one picture together. Okay, everyone. Uh, okay, just come on camera, everyone, please. And then we'll close the session. One, two, three. Okay, everyone smile. Okay. Perfect. Thank you so very much once again for your time, for your efforts, for your energy. Tomorrow, I have a session on astrology, which I am going to conduct. So, if you're interested in joining that session, please let me know. I have shared the details on the group as well regarding the same. So, we will be learning about that too.
Do you see the horoscope also?
Yes.
Like if I send my horoscope to you,
Yeah.
so will
So,
you be able?
yeah, I'll be able to see. I'll be able to see.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because since 2024, I have been practicing
Okay.
uh graphology, not graphology, I'm so sorry, astrology, right?
Okay.
So through that I can help. And tomorrow is like the very first session that I'm conducting.
Mm.
So I've shared the details. I'll share it once again. But yeah, that should be good then.
All right.
Okay. Thank you so very much. Thank you so much
Thank you.
once again.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye bye. Have a nice day.
Thank you, sir. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye
Thank you,
bye.
everyone. Bye bye. Take care. Bye.
It's like